All right. Hey, you guys. I hope you guys can hear me okay. It's been a minute since I have gone live. I usually have my cell phone, that I'm using. This time I'm doing it from my computer, so it's the webcam. Um, and I hope everyone's having a great holiday season. I'm going to give you guys a minute to kind of get on up in here. But for those of you all who might have jumped on already, so we're going to use this kind of like as a year in rewind, right? I've had some videos that have gotten, quite a few views. There's been comments that have been made on videos, and just the topics in general, I think have been pretty buzzworthy or whatever. So I thought this would be a nice opportunity for us to kind of like rewind it back and just to discuss some of those topics. But I'm going to give you guys a minute. If you guys want to drop any comments down in the comment section, and just say what's up. Hopefully you guys are having a good Tuesday. What's today? Tuesday. Hopefully you guys are having a good Tuesday, had a good Christmas. If you want to leave comments, you can. Just say maybe how your year has been. That's what's up. Okay. So I'm going to give it a second to kind of warm up. And I actually want to, and also normally you guys, I have my like real ring light. Right now, this is what I'm using. And this is cool because I get to clamp it. I actually promoted this in the past, but this is actually a really good product, you guys. And that's why I'm using it. Because you could literally put it on your cell phone, right, like that. Or you could actually snap it onto your computer. So I hope it's making a difference. Let me see, wait. I hope it's making a difference. I hope it's making a difference that you guys can actually tell. If not, then maybe tomorrow when I go live, I will really have out my real ring light. But yeah, so you guys, what is up? Like this year has been something else, and both good and maybe a few hiccups along the way or whatever. But I would say this has been a hell of a year. Many blessings, many changes. But in terms of videos, like I say, I have put out some content that, like I say, has had a little buzz around it, some of it. And then there's some which I always think is really interesting and I think is funny is when, people kind of turn up in the comment sections. And I'm like, are people really taking this stuff that seriously? Like, topics are topics, whatever. Some could be a little bit more controversial than others. And, we all get kind of fired up when we have our opinions and stuff. But some stuff, I'm just like, wow, like people really are passionate. People are really passionate on some of the topics. But for today we're actually going to talk about, I'm gonna put a few timestamps below. So after this live airs, you guys give it a little bit because like I say, I want to go in and I want to timestamp. Like right now it's 6:34. Okay. But yeah, I want to timestamp. So the topic that we're going to cover today, you guys, that was previously covered this year is the whole Mike Tyson. And this was actually done in a short. This was actually one of the quick shorts. But like I say, it got a lot of views. It got a lot of comments. It's the video where the question is raised about, would Will Smith, and that Oscar slap happened last year. Didn't even happen this year, but the video that I had, it was a short, and it was just the scenario of like, would Will Smith have slapped Mike Tyson? And like I say, that got a lot of comments. I'm actually going to read some of the comments in a minute. But that was a scenario that a lot of people claimed that, Will Smith was so upset at that time, he was so like carrying a lot, people taking all kind of shots at Jada, that he was so fired up that it would not have mattered who would have said what to him. You know what I mean? Or who would have made those comments. And I have heard Mike Tyson used in the past as an example. Like I've heard, and I'm like, yeah, that's a good question. Like, would he have tried that on Mike Tyson? And then I've also heard like, well, what if Jamie Foxx? And we know that Jamie Foxx, despite his medical issues and stuff like that, whatever. But Jamie Foxx has always been kind of like buff, he's a comedian. He could have easily have been hosting that year. And what if Jamie Foxx had made those jokes? Would Will Smith have hopped on stage and like, try to, bitch slap Jamie Foxx? Would he have did that to Denzel, Training Day, or Samuel L. Jackson? I don't know. They're older guys, but they're still, I would say they have pretty strong builds. I don't know. But the video, and I'm also going to link in the description box. I'm also going to link, you guys can also just check out my my shorts and stuff. If you guys check out the short videos, then you guys are going to find it. But I'm going to do like a quick little link to that specific video so you guys know what I'm talking about. If this wasn't a live and this was pre-recorded, I would probably have it playing somewhere like up in one of the corners for you guys to see. But I think it was Hot Boxing or whatever Mike Tyson's podcast, whatever his podcast is, he had, it sounded like one of the guys that have hosted that Vlad, whatever interview stuff before. But anyway, Mike Tyson was directly asked the question, do you think that Will Smith would have slapped you like he did Chris Rock if you had made the same joke? Now, in the short, I was like, in case you were wondering, right? I got kind of cute with it. I was like, in case you were wondering, and then I showed the quick little snippet. First of all, Mike Tyson's reply, I think, was very smart. I think it was eloquent. He didn't like get messy with it. He didn't say, oh, well, he did kind of say that a little bit, but his immediate answer was not like, like I would have knocked the mess out of him, or he wouldn't have even tried that with me. His immediate answer was, well, I don't talk about people's wives, so that would have never happened. And the guy that interviewed him was like, bam, well, there's the answer. A lot of people got really turned up with that topic in general. Like, people like, are you saying that Will Smith was right to have slapped Chris Rock? And are you saying, yeah, that's what she's saying? And just let me see. Let me actually go back. This is part of why I'm actually on the camera, you guys, because I wanted to actually be able to read some of the comments that were made, because y'all got turned. Like, some people was really turned up in the comment section. I always find it a little like humorous, like when people get really like, first of all, they are millionaires. Okay, that's one millionaire slapping another millionaire on stage. Okay, I do hate to see two black brothers, actually, if he's gonna slap anybody, you're gonna slap your brother. Like, that's rough. But I think that we get way too like into, like people really get turned. But anyway, let me go to the shorts. So where's it at? Where's my little, in case you were wondering? Because people felt some type of way. And that's okay. People are entitled, you guys are entitled to feel how you feel. Here it is. Just in case. So let me go back to the comment section. And somebody actually, I'm sorry, not to be all over the place. Somebody actually did have a good comeback. I had to like that comment because it was actually very funny. Somebody was like, the question is, would Chris Rock, would he have made that joke about Mike Tyson's wife at the Oscars? They said the answer is hell no. And I would have to agree. Mike Tyson, I think, in the years has really kind of like tamed. He's become more spiritual and all that, but we do know he will turn up. He is not to be played with. And even though it's the Oscar in a certain settings that we would think that type of like behavior just would not happen at, I don't even think Chris Rock would have chanced it. Not too much. I don't think he would have chanced it. I don't think he would have made that joke about Mike Tyson, because we know Mike Tyson don't play. If Mike Tyson, had a wife. So that was a good one. That was one of the comments that was made. Somebody else said, forget all that. Mike Tyson ain't no, they said, forget all that. Ain't no man gonna walk up to Mike Tyson and just hit him like that. I agree. Unless he's like high on some type of drugs or something. But most people that know Mike Tyson's reputation, there's no way that would have been like attempted. But just some of the comments, and then there was also the stance that that people had, which was that it's disrespectful to talk about any man's wife. How I feel on this, okay, and there were some people that saying, oh, she's saying this, or yes, she believes this, or whatever. How I feel on that is that, first of all, Will Smith, he and Jada, their relationship is their relationship. I think that they have a very Hollywood relationship, very Hollywood. I think a lot of what we see is not really to be believed. Jada said they have been separated since 2016 or something like that, which may very well be the case. I think even way back in the day, they had their reputation as being like swingers. And even though like it's weird, it's strange, because even though Will Smith has generally, I would say, had like kind of like a good guy image, a very like wholesome, good guy over the years type of image. I've always respected him, even in that get jiggy with it. Okay, he said, what did he say? Like, we have a cigar, but I don't light it. Okay, he's always like trying to make examples, for the younger generation, for the youth. But at the same time, ironically, like his relationship with Jada, even way back in the day, they both had a reputation for being like swingers, like, Can you guys see me okay? I'm like readjusting this. But anyway, they had that reputation for having kind of like whatever wild stuff happened at their mansion, swinger lifestyle. So I personally just think that after a while, all that just kind of caught up. Jada has been very public. She's put people into their business to begin with. She's with her red table talk, and just in general, she's been very public about what happens, what goes on, in their relationship. They all have been very like candid. And I do think that so many jokes about the, Alcina and all that stuff, I think that it did eventually kind of weigh on Will Smith a bit. But I think that he's a comedian. He's made a lot of jokes in the past, some that may have rubbed other people the wrong way. I don't think anybody, I know that no one in the past has ever like tried to slap him, like taking it, what he said, that personally, to like try to slap him. I think that, I do think that Will Smith was kind of consciously choosing who to snap off on. I personally do not think he would have attempted that if Mike Tyson. No, Mike Tyson is not a comedian. No, Mike Tyson typically would not be hosting any type of event like that. But if it were that type of scenario, I do not think that Will Smith was so upset that it does not matter who was making those jokes, that, regardless of whoever, he would have went up there and did that. I don't think so. I don't even think that he would have talked like that if it was, I'm trying to think of a white comedian, like, or just a white actor. I don't know, anybody, Leonardo DiCaprio. If he went up there and made some kind of like offensive comments, or I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of a Caucasian comedian, but I just don't think that Will Smith would have just willy-nilly went up there and slapped anybody. I don't. I don't even think he would have done it, like I say, if it were, um, Samuel L. Jackson or Denzel Washington or Jamie Foxx. I don't think he would have done that. I don't care how many looks Jada made side-eyed. I don't think he would have done it. Um, Out of the arena of the Oscars, I do think that when you make jokes like that, in general, you're just making a joke, you do have to kind of, be willing whatever may come, because sometimes what you say or what you joke about could rub somebody the wrong way. No, it's never, I'm not advocating violence at all whatsoever, but it is a possibility for someone to, you know, get mad, turn up based off of what you said. So I think that's just kind of like a chance that you take when you are a comedian. But in that type of setting, I don't think that should have happened. I don't. I don't even think that what he said was really that rough, that bad at all, actually. Um, Last I checked, the G.I. Jane character was kind of like a heroine. Like she was, a very positive character. So I don't really see what was the insult. And more than likely, and I think I heard someone say this before, that if they did do a remake of G.I. Jane, Jada Pinkett probably would be auditioning or want to have some part in it. Okay. So, I don't know. But you guys leave comments down below. What do you guys think? This just overall in general is what I thought, needed to be addressed, could be addressed. What else? I'm trying to look at some other really interesting comments. Yeah, somebody else even said technically it was a compliment saying Jada should play G.I. Jane. Technically, I think it was too. I mean, I think that he was saying it for laughs. Don't get me wrong. I think that Chris Rock was saying it for laughs, but in general, I think that G.I. Jane character was like kind of like a badass. You know what I mean? A little bit like she had her head shaved because she was like military or whatever, but her character itself was like a positive character. I don't think it was like something to be like, oh, G.I. Jane. Like, I don't think so. Sorry if I still got the sound up here real loud. And then I think it's interesting too. I think it's interesting too because there have been all like 50 Cent, if I'm not mistaken, 50 Cent has made jokes about Will Smith, Jada Pinkett. He's made jokes about that after, the whole Alcina thing. 50 Cent has made comments. There have been a lot of comments from a lot of other well-noted celebrities that have said things. I highly doubt that if 50 Cent was on stage or just in a public place and made some kind of comment like that about Jada, which was what? Oh, she should play G.I. Jane? Like, I don't know. But anyway, I don't think that Will Smith would have been so quick to go up there and like want to haul off and think he could just bitch slap somebody. So all in all, I would say that my opinion is of the following. I do not advocate violence at all whatsoever. I do think that Will Smith pretty much sized him up. I don't think it was just, he was just so infuriated. It doesn't matter who, because even though Mike Tyson is saying that he would not talk about a man's wife, even if he did, and we know that in the past, Mike Tyson has said some pretty crazy things. But even if for whatever reason Mike Tyson did, I doubt that Will Smith would have went on stage hauling off, slapping anybody, whether it was Mike Tyson, whether it was 50 Cent. Who else? Whether it was, like any of the other celebs that I had mentioned, or, even a Caucasian celebrity that got up there and made some kind of comments. I don't think Will would have did that. I think Will would have recognized at the moment, especially if it were a Caucasian or a white actor up there making those kind of jokes. I think he would have known that the moment he slapped him, it would have been the end of his career. And I don't think he would have, it could have been the skinniest, most frail, white celeb that was on stage at the Oscars making those same exact jokes. I don't think Will Smith would have done that. But then again, like I say, my opinion is probably runs a little bit closer to what Cat Williams had to say. Cat Williams had said that Cat Williams had made the comment that he felt like Will Smith and Chris Rock, that was a whole like staged thing. You guys, again, for anybody who is just joining, I'm letting you guys know that I'm just kind of rewinding, I'm recapping some of, and I'm going to be doing this throughout the week. I'm going to hop on live and I'm going to go live for maybe about an hour or whatever and just address some of the topics that I felt were, kind of went a little bit viral. They got a lot of controversial maybe comments made, or just in general, like that I may have felt, maybe I was misunderstood, that I was maybe misunderstood a bit. And I would definitely say that this one, the whole Chris Rock, is think Will Smith would have slapped you. If you guys go to my shorts, like I say, because I'm live right now, I'm not able to put the short video up on the screen so you guys can see. But you guys can always go to the shorts and check out the video I'm talking about. But I was just saying, in case you were wondering, and I got all cute with it, I was like, in case you were wondering, bam. But like I genuinely was saying, like, because the Mike Tyson scenario had been used quite a bit in that whole like last year Oscar slap thing, there was the answer, because Mike Tyson was asked directly, like, do you think Will Smith would have slapped you? Okay. Like I say, Mike Tyson's answer, in my opinion, I think it was a clever answer. I think his answer was clever. I think that it was classy. I think it was very non-messy, because his answer was that no, because I don't talk about people's wives. So that would not have happened to me. Even though we know Mike Tyson in the past has been known to say some pretty wild, crazy stuff. Okay, but even if Mike Tyson was back on his like wild stuff, I personally still don't think Will Smith would have even attempted it. Okay, Jada could have kept rolling her eyes until they disappeared. Okay, and Will would have sat there and he would have sat there. Okay, that's what I personally think. But just in the grand scheme of things, I think that like the more I delve into like the whole celebrity, I might save that for another video topic. But like I say, my opinion is probably closer to that of Cat Williams. On like, he felt that it was a bit staged a bit. And that just in the world of Hollywood, Hollyweird, if you want to call it that a lot of what you see, you cannot believe. That I do. I think that I personally had, Cat Williams had a really good point. If you guys noticed, even with that whole Oscar slap thing, initially, we laughed about it. I also heard that whenever they do the Oscars, just like with any show, there's rehearsals, they have run-throughs. And in those run-throughs, people actually do, they'll practice, they'll go through. So supposedly that was not the first time that Will or Jada had heard Chris Rock's joke. And initially when Chris Rock had made that joke, of course, as we know, Will laughed about it until he looked at Jada, who was not laughing. He looked at him like, I don't approve. And then that's when he charged forward. Like I say, my opinion is probably a little bit closer to that of Cat Williams, and that I feel like, a lot of what you see in Hollywood is just really not to be believed. I don't, what they got out of it. Personally, I don't know. Other than it definitely brought a lot of attention back to the Oscars. But like I say, personally, I hate to see, two brothers, going on stage, like that. I just think that wasn't the place for anything like that. But it is what it is. You guys leave your comments down below. And again, I wanted to go through some of the comments, some more of the comments that was made. Like I say, some of you guys got a little turned up. Some of you guys are a little turned up. You guys have to excuse any noise in my background. Excuse any noise in my background. But, yeah, some of you guys got a little bit turned up with that. I'm going to read some more of the comments. And then I might actually also talk about, or maybe I should save it for tomorrow, you guys. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if I should talk about the Tyrese, that video, because I got a lot of feedback as well. Because that video was, again, another short, and that was Tyrese destroyed by his girlfriend on live. Some people felt a certain way about that, that it was just playful banter. Others felt like, yes, it was majorly disrespectful. There's a lot of comments on it. But before we get off into that, which I think I'm going to cover it in this video. It's enough videos, enough content for me to cover through this week. Again, this is my 2023 and rewind, just to talk about some of the past topics. And then also I will be talking about moving forward, maybe more of the type of content that I'll be covering, and just my whole, thoughts around all the celebrity stuff. But let me get back to the Mike Tyson one. I just want to read off some of the comments that you guys made, because people were getting pretty turned up in that comment section. Some were, and I just wanted to read off some of those comments. But everybody, if that's a topic you feel super passionate about, I think people are entitled to feel how they feel. I'm not here to tell you how to feel. But I think that we all need to take a moment to step back to realize that Will Smith is a multi-millionaire. So is Chris Rock. At the end of the day, yes, they're still human, but they are all within that same Hollywood club. Even, the dispute on camera at the Oscars and stuff, I'm feeling like Cat Williams on that, you guys. So what else? What were some of I already read off some of the comments, you guys. So somebody else said this. Somebody else said, keep the spouse's name out of your mouth and you won't have to worry about getting slapped. Now, I like the comment because I'm not seeing this like as a black and, I was going to say a black and white, meaning right or wrong type of thing. I feel like this. Anytime, especially the Oscars is a little different because it's, it's a very public type of event. It's a very, it's kind of a different category. But anytime, even if it's to be totally lighthearted, anytime somebody makes any kind of real sensitive jokes like that, you have to, I think, kind of make that joke with, in a fight stance, or make that joke, with the fighting glove on, because anything can occur. Sometimes people make jokes and it can rub somebody the wrong way. Now, for Will Smith, who's made 1,001 jokes, talked about, I'm sure he has made jokes about women without hair in the past. I am sure of it. He's made all kind of jokes. And what was said was literally coming from a comedian. You know what I mean? So I think that's something where, okay, cool your jets. Cool your jets. You know, it's not that serious. If you can snap off on 50 Cent or any of these other people that are dragging you in the public, you really don't need to snap off on 50-pound Chris Rock. Okay, he's about a 75 pounds dripping wet. Okay, very thin guy, small guy. To me, that just was not a fair kind of matchup. I think Chris Rock took it well. I think he took it very classy. My fellow Aquarian, I think that I think he took it very classy, but at the same time on a very grown-up level. I think if you are talking about somebody's spouse in any other arena, you should kind of be ready for whatever might come behind that, because somebody might not like what you just said. You're talking about their significant other. But then again, like I say, let's put this back into the category of Hollywood, because that's all that it is. It's a staged, everything's on stage. These are actors where any publicity is good publicity, whether it's bad, whether it's good, whatever. As long as people are talking about you, then the mission accomplished. So with that in mind, I think that kind of puts me in a different category. I like the comment. I like comments on both sides. Not because I'm so impartial, but I could just kind of see points made out of all different types of comments. But I like that particular comment. What else? Somebody else said there's a time and a place for everything. I agree with that. I liked that comment. I agree. Somebody else said, I'm trying to look for the real spicy type of comments. And then we're going to move on to the Tyrese. We're going to move on to the Tyrese. We're going to see between now and Thursday or Friday, whenever I'm able to kind of wrap this up, we're going to see, because I'm going to go through the videos. Hopefully I'll be able to cover all the ones that I felt really were kind of, whatever, noteworthy, buzzworthy. They got a lot of, comments back. Somebody else said, and I like this comment, somebody else said was an act done by actors. Now, some people say, my advice is for you guys to go on YouTube and look up the comments that Cat Williams made about the whole Oscar slap thing. If you guys look up that, then you guys can kind of get a feel for where I'm coming from with it. Doesn't mean that everything that Cat Williams says is 100% Bible or anything like that. But I think he makes some really good points. Cat Williams has been in Hollywood for a minute himself. He's a comedian, but he's also been in a lot of movies. He's been in the scene. So I'm sure that, what he's saying is just not completely fluff, But if you guys look that up, you guys will get a feel for, you guys should get a feel for it, where I'm coming from with it. But I do feel that way. I feel like, in general, a lot of that stuff, just like what Cat Williams said, both of them have huge teams behind them. Okay, kind of like with the whole Taraji P. Henson thing, what she mentioned, what she said about behind a lot of big actors, they have a whole team of people behind them that have to get paid, that work for them. But just using that as an example, that Will Smith, Chris Rock, all of them have huge teams behind them. So a lot of things are very well thought out, usually very orchestrated, right? From events that they attend to what they're wearing to the littlest, smallest, most minute detail. So for it to be something like that, where some laugh at him because she goes like this, and he hops on stage and slaps her, I don't know. I'm just leaning more toward what Cat Williams had to say about that. So let's move on, you guys. And like I say, your girl is going live. I haven't gone live since probably toward the beginning of this year, spring, whatever, of this year. Might have still been winter time. I don't know. But I'm using this as an opportunity to kind of go through some of the videos that I've uploaded before, shorts, as well as long form videos that I felt were a little bit controversial, a little bit, or just the topics in general, or just that got a lot of pushback in the comment sections. So this is my 2023 in rewind. I hope everyone has had an amazing holiday season. It came and it went so fast, you guys. Like literally, it came. It's like this big build up to the holidays, and it's like boom. Okay, we have New Year's coming up, but in general, like that was really, really quick. And today is Tuesday. Yeah, hopefully I could get this wrapped up by Thursday or Friday. But my plan, you guys, is to go live daily and just kind of cover like for an hour or so, and just kind of cover some of the topics. Be nice if I had the software where I could actually put up videos. Maybe I can. Maybe I just need to study this platform a little bit more and see if it's a way like where I could like pull up stuff, or is that like separate equipment or something that I have to buy so that I can have like a picture-in-picture or something. I don't know. So it's not just me talking, but I'm sure you guys don't mind that. But yeah, whatever. So anyway, back to the whole Tyrese thing. So if you guys could Google it. I believe this was on Instagram that Tyrese went live. I believe so. It was either like Instagram or TikTok, one of the two that he had went live on with his girlfriend. And on that, let me see here. I'm gonna tell you guys actually when I posted it. You guys can check it out in my shorts, in my video shorts. But I'm trying to see here. Let me see. When did I post this? I can't get any time frame on this sucker. Wait, maybe I can. August 2nd. Okay, August 2nd is actually when I posted this video. So it was a little minute ago. But this was a video of Tyrese, and I entitled this short, Tyrese Destroyed by His Girlfriend on Live. I think that couples, in general, people play with people. It's only sometimes like the way people can joke, it can really only be understood between them. Like maybe I could go really hard on somebody, but that person knows like my personality, or they know maybe it's like a joke inside of a joke, like one of those, where they get it. And from the outside, maybe it does come off as like way harsh, super harsh. You guys, I guess I got to charge this up again. Okay. Well, I didn't have it like freshly charged. But yeah, for those of you guys, I'm going to get back to Tyrese and his girlfriend. We're going to get back to this in a second. But I was showing you guys that I'm actually on my desktop this time. Usually I use my cell phone, and I'll have my actual ring light so it's nice and brightly lit up, which maybe I might do tomorrow. I don't know. But I was trying this out. Normally this is a pretty bright, heavy hitter. I did not freshly have this charged up, but unfortunately, it looks like it's out. So I'll know that it has a very short little, span for staying lit. But anyway, so I get that. First of all, their relationship is their relationship, their business. But how I feel is like when you bring it to the public, I personally feel like when you bring your relationship to the public like they did on Live, then it does become like open to people's discussions and their opinions. Now the girl, she jokes, I think his girlfriend is like some kind of like Instagram model, or she's something like that. Where you guys have to watch the full thing because I only did the snippet. In my opinion, if you keep watching, it gets more like cringier. It gets a little bit harder. Like some of the stuff that she's saying is like, that stung me, and I'm not even Tyrese. Like that's rough. But so she makes a lot of comments about how Tyrese, he wasn't really her type, and she actually liked his, now deceased friend. What's the actor? Nice looking guy. Forgot his name, but the one that died, that was part of the Fast and the Furious, R.I.P. But she was saying how he was more of her type anyway, and Tyrese, he's kind of old, and she doesn't really go for his type, but at least he has a nice smile. And he was like, ouch, ouch. And she's like, well, what else did she say? She was like, well, it's no secret. People know, or what did she say? It wasn't like I've never told you that before, or some stuff. But, people had some real strong opinions. They was telling Tyrese, run, get out now. Some women were saying, well, he likes that. And I agree. Personally, apparently that's what he likes. He likes, if he wanted a woman that was, praising him or whatever, I guess that's what he would have. But a lot of people were saying that it was disrespectful for sure. Paul Walker, that's his name. Paul Walker, the one that, passed. To me, it's just certain lines you don't, it's one thing to say that, like, I actually like your friend better. That's still rough. But now you're talking about a friend that is deceased. That, to me, that just seems like an extra layer, personally, of like kind of disrespect. But apparently, now Tyrese did say he was going to end the live, and he, was like, don't touch me or whatever. Like, please, he's going to, I can't tell if it was just banter, if it was play, or if that was like for real. But it did seem awfully disrespectful to me, in my opinion. Some people were like, yeah, totally disrespectful. And this is what I thought was funny. Somebody said, what I find interesting is that people put more effort into other people's relationship more than their own. And first of all, if you post something publicly like that, there's no effort being made. It's just me bringing up a topic, and the effort is the person that wrote that comment. Okay, you put in some keyboard effort to write that type of comment, first of all. Second of all, it's something that was just brought up, not necessarily to say one way or the other, but it's like, okay, what's your opinion? I am aware that sometimes the dynamics of relationships, friendships, whatever, relationships, whatever, people can have a certain way that they interact that maybe other people do not understand. From the surface, though, yes, it did come off tremendously disrespectful, and it shouldn't be like a tier sort of thing. But I'm like, that's Tyrese. Like Tyrese, he's been in several movies. He's has a franchise hit with the Fast and the Furious, and I'm sure she's who she is, but she's an Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, I think maybe he needs to be reminded of who he is, and have a little bit more, some boundaries in terms of what he's allows to be said to him. But I don't know. But that's just my personal opinion. But another comment, a woman was saying something about, somebody else said that she was vile to him. She basically didn't like anything about him. She's using him and needs to be with someone genuine. He needs to be with someone genuine. She embarrassed him to the core, awful, and bringing up his friend who's passed. Even she's so self-absorbed to even notice. She's just pulled him down in front of all of his followers. I mean, point made. But I feel like, if Tyrese doesn't get that and he doesn't understand that, then that's what Tyrese needs. But I would have to agree with that comment that was made. And maybe sometimes people press boundaries to see, where is your limit? Like, what else can they say before you say, like, enough? Um, and then I'm trying to find some other comments. Somebody else said, I think this was a joke. They were playing on live. Maybe they were. Maybe they were. Maybe they were. Hey. Hey there, Lewis. Hola. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I want to love the comment here. Does it give me that option? I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not super techie when it comes to the lives. But much love to you guys. Thank you for the comments. Thank you, Lewis. Louis Antonio. But yeah, so really, like I said, and then somebody else said that they're so silly. Somebody else said that she's for the streets. I don't know if she's for the streets or not. I know that if he chose her and he's with her, then that must be his speed. But I do think just like how it would be distaste, it would be leave a bad taste in your mouth if it was a guy talking about a woman like that on live. We would be like, oh girl, like, oh my God, he's so disrespectful. And I think it's the same way like with Tyrese. Yeah, he's a guy, but like, you're Tyrese. You need to be reminded of who you are. You're Tyrese, now maybe you're Tyrese, you're not Denzel, but it doesn't matter. You're Tyrese, and he's a huge celebrity in his own right. I've been in a lot of movies that I really love. So, he got this young, I guess, I don't know the age difference, but I think she's in her 20s. I think Tyrese is in his, I don't know how old Tyrese is, but I know it's a nice big age gap. So I don't know if he feels like because she's younger, she's the prize. I don't know. But I know if he's with her, then maybe she is doing something right. I'm just saying. Just saying, you guys. But yeah, there's a lot of comments on that. So I don't know. You guys leave your comments. What did you guys think? Did you all think? You guys leave your comments also on the whole Mike Tyson, Will Smith slap scenario. You guys could leave your comments down on as well about the Tyrese and the disrespect from his girlfriend. If that, what you guys thought about that. Some people are like, that's their business. True enough, it is. That's their relationship. But if you go live, and he went live, I think, he went live from his account. He actually went live from his account, and the video started where I guess someone was asking, like, like, how did they hook up? How did they get together? How did they hook up? And, I guess he did start off kind of like, I slid into her DMs or whatever on Instagram. But she was very clear in talking about, I get hit up by a lot of celebrities. And I was like, another, like literally, this is what she said. She's like, another celebrity. I only responded back because my manager thought it would be a good idea. And she's being super honest. So I give hats off to her for being that honest, like that raw. But at some point, to me, Tyrese should have been like, hold on now. What? Like what? What did she just say? But she was keeping it real. And if they're still together, she's doing something right. That means that she's just his speed. I'm just saying. People saying she's for the street, she's this and that. On the surface level, to me, I thought it was disrespectful. I do think there was a line drawn, especially bringing up Paul Walker, who's dead, who was a good friend to Tyrese. That's kind of like, what? And her also saying that she only responded back because her manager thought that she should, which meant that her manager thought it was a good business move. So, to me, that's kind of like, I don't know, it's saying something. But what else? I think we got a few more minutes for another one. We're going to cover one more. I don't know, you guys. I don't know if we should talk about Orlando Brown. He covers a lot of content. People, laugh or just always talk about Orlando Brown and say, whatever. But Orlando Brown, he brings up so much stuff, so much Hollywood stuff. I think his stuff is very interesting. But that one didn't get a lot of views. What about? Oh, okay. So what about the Aries Spears, Keke Palmer? Okay, the Aries Spears, Keke Palmer. That was mentioned in a short, you guys. Like I say, because I'm live right now, I'm not able to like point up and have like a picture-in-picture playing. Because if I could, then I would show you guys the short that I had, which was, again, this was Aries Spears that was being interviewed. Again, I think it was a Vlad TV interview thing. And Aries Spears, he made his comments, something about, so I had it as Aries Spears weighs in on the Keke Palmer and Boyfriend situation. And Aries Spears, he be saying some stuff. Aries Spears, he said some things. He was saying something about, basically, you guys have to go back to it to watch it exactly, the clip that I pulled. But basically, what he was saying was that, you can't fault Keke Palmer's boyfriend for having a problem with how she went on stage with Usher. And, at the end of the day, he's a man, and basically he should feel some type of way. At least that's what I took away from it. If you guys took something different, but that's what I took away from what Aries Spears said. Got, some comments on that too, where people felt some type of way. Somebody said he's a cornball. They're talking about Keke Palmer's boyfriend. They said he's a cornball. He was tripping. Her boyfriend was tripping for making it a public thing. Aries, as they say, Aries got too many L's, too many losses to talk about real men. Okay, point made. Aside from Aries Spears' history, how I feel is this. I think, like, we don't know personally what was going on in Keke Palmer and her boyfriend's relationship. Like, we really don't. Maybe she felt he had been recently disrespectful in something that he had done. Maybe they had been out and he, was flirting with somebody, or he did something that, maybe that was her retaliation for that. I do personally think that, her being on stage dressed like that, dancing with Usher and stuff, it does come off disrespectful, but they are in Hollywood. Once again, I think we have to remind ourselves, like, these are people that are, musicians. Usher's a musician. He's been in some movies before too, but this is the world of Hollywood. And in the world of Hollywood, and she's a Disney child star too, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll get into that maybe tomorrow or something like that when I cover Orlando Brown. But with her being a Disney star, like, a lot of them, they have to attend parties. There was, the footage that her boyfriend shared, that was disrespectful too, that he shared that footage of her dancing and, acting a certain way. But, we don't know. We don't know what they're at. We do know she just had a child. We do know she just had a baby. So that, at least on the surface level, appeared to be a little, kind of like, I don't know, but who are we to judge? I don't know. But we do know she just had the baby, but the way she was dancing, how she was dressed with the see-through stuff where you see her booty, and how she was dressed and dancing all on Usher and talk, like, that did come off very disrespectful to her boyfriend. Yes, it did. Some say that he could have handled it like a real man, and handling it like a real man meant like not to say anything at all, not to, whatever. Clearly he was one that said, I'm going to be vocal. I guess he was hurt by it or whatever, and just really kind of wanted to destroy her, public persona or whatever. I don't know. But I do know with her being a Disney child star, in Hollywood in general, but especially with Keke Palmer being a child star, they have to attend parties. They attend parties. I think just now, more recently, it's coming out where a lot of stuff that we're learning more about, like Hollywood and how it operates, and just all of the weird stuff that goes on at these parties and things like that. Underage people and stuff, all that weird stuff. But you know what I mean? Like, this is the world of Hollywood. Again, any press is good press, whether people are saying negative stuff about you or positive things about you. I'm not saying that she wanted to, have that whole thing result in her breaking up with her boyfriend at all. I'm not saying that. But, to get on stage and dance and dress and, whatever certain way, at the end of the day, I think that they are wanting some press behind it. There was some press behind it. And that might have been at the expense of her boyfriend, because it doesn't make him look too good. But at the end of the day, they're actors, actresses, they're musicians, they're in the industry. Who knows? Who knows? She might have already have been with Usher before in the past in a party or something. Like, who knows? We don't know. But that was a controversial one, that, people had their opinions about it. People felt some type of way, which I can understand. Some people said she, as a woman, had the right to feel how she feels, dress how she wants to dress, get out there, be as sexy or whatever she wants to be. Maybe. But I could see that a lot of what she did kind of was at the expense of her boyfriend. Should he have handled it that way? I don't know. That everyone is entitled to their own opinions. Aries Spears had his. Somebody else said he had a point, but he was acting emotional by posting it on Instagram. They're talking about Keke Palmer's boyfriend. They said that he had a point, but he was acting emotional by posting it on Instagram. He should not have posted it at all. Should have not said anything to her, because she did that on purpose to make him, because they're saying because she did that on purpose to make him act like I wouldn't take her off all my social media. Okay, I'm not sure. I get the gist. I think the wording of how the person wrote it might have been a little off, but they were just basically saying that her boyfriend was acting emotional by posting that stuff. He just should have been a little bit more stoic with it. Which I don't see, guys get emotional too. I mean, that was how he felt. Hence the Will Smith, Chris Rock slap. Okay, if that was real, hence that. Okay, people get emotional. They said it was too much feminine energy from him by posting all that stuff. Maybe, I don't know. But I feel like even if it was, then it was. If it wasn't, then you know what I mean. Like just because it might have been him tapping more into his feminine energy doesn't necessarily make it wrong. I don't know. So yeah, you guys. So those are my thoughts. I feel like I'm on here, you guys. I'm okay. You guys know I haven't been on here since the beginning of this year, but you're back on here right now. And I'm doing my little 2023 and rewind. Again, I'm just going to kind of recap. I hope you guys have had an amazing holiday season. We still have New Year's coming up, but I'm hoping that you guys had a great Christmas Eve, a great Christmas, great Thanksgiving. Like I say, I haven't been on here since, I guess, what was that? the end of spring or the beginning of summer. Or it's been a little bit since I've gone live, you guys. But I thought this was a good opportunity just to kind of do, you know, a rewind on some of the videos that, you know, might have gone viral a little bit or gotten, you know, some comments, or just videos where I felt like maybe I was misunderstood. The one that I felt that I had been maybe misunderstood a little bit was that whole Mike Tyson, Will Smith, Chris Rock slap scenario. Because people are like, yeah, that's what she means. Yeah, she's whatever. I don't know. She's advocating violence. Yeah. Yeah, that's what she thinks. She thinks it was good. Like, no, not at all. I actually think that, you know, like I said, I don't know whether it was real or not, but I feel like the selection of who Will Smith finally hit his boiling tipping point with, I think it's a big coincidence that it was somebody who was 75 pounds soaking wet. And I'll just say that, okay? And didn't even fight back. Like, most people would have, I don't know, pushed him down the stairs or jumped on his back when he went to walk away. Most people would have done something. I think the way that Chris Rock handled it was very classy. And my hat's off to Chris Rock. But like I say, that is the world of Hollywood. There's a lot of things that are orchestrated. I can't say 100% for sure if that was or not, but my opinion of all of it is very close with that whole scenario. Is very, very close to what Cat Williams had to say, with his opinion on that whole subject, the Holly Weird. Okay. But yeah, so let's see, you guys. I'm getting in my view time too, you guys. It's been a minute. We gotta push it up for the new year. What else, you guys? What else? Well, I guess I could talk about my short, because people got spicy in that one too. I could talk about my the one where I remixed it a little bit because I had it where Randy like did it a few times, but the whole Michael Jackson was pissed. Short, I can't actually cover that one. There was a lot of people that were saying, "Oh, that wasn't real. That was staged." People need to quit trying to act like that was like. First of all, I'm not saying that in the past that, you know, the Jackson 5 did not do their skits or whatever. I don't even know. Truth be told, it's not even fully my generation. But I do know that Michael Jackson, before he went solo, I do know he was with his brothers. They probably did have skits and stuff like that. But that looked very real to me. It doesn't mean that it, you know, was, but from what I saw, that looked a hell of a real. Okay, it looked hella real to me. But you guys could go to my shorts. You guys could click on Michael Jackson or Michael Was Pissed. I think at the end of the day, though, I think that they're brothers. It's all love. I don't think that, you know, Randy and Michael duked it out at the end of the show. I don't think anything like that. But I do think that's that little bit of sibling rivalry that just kind of happens or whatever. But I think it was still really interesting, fun to watch because, you know, at the end, you know, Michael was kind of like, hey, you know, don't interrupt me. Some people were like, oh, well, he didn't say Randy. That was somebody in the audience, whatever. But we still knew who he was talking about. He was talking about Randy, okay? He was directing what he was saying to Randy. Whether it was somebody in the audience that yelled out Randy, still, we know who he was talking about. But yeah, I like that. And currently, it has gone viral, which is nice. But yeah, so on this note, you guys, I'm going to conclude it. I will be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. I might have better lighting because like I said, this particular time, you guys, I used this. And typically you hit this Oh, it came back on. Shut up. Oh, wow. You guys, it randomly came back on, but this is my like ring light on the go. This was a product that I actually promoted before. It has not been like I didn't have it freshly charged, so it kind of went out on me, and it normally gets really, really bright. It gets a hella bright. Like you literally can pop it onto your phone if you're gonna like do some selfies or some content on the go, or you guys can put it on your computer, which is what I had done before it went out. See, even though it's going out, it still made it a little bit brighter. So I don't know. Tomorrow I might either have my ring light out or I might have this sucker fully charged, fully charged. And do it that way. And normally I would have my tripod out, you guys, and I would just do it from my phone. I would, tape and stuff like that from my phone. But this time I wanted to actually scroll and go through videos and read comments. So that's kind of why I'm doing this from my desktop. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up. You guys that did not catch it live, no biggie. This is the holiday, so I'm imagining that you guys have things to do. You're out and about. But if you do catch this on the rewind, check out 2023 and on the rewind, because I'm just going through some of the videos that I thought was, buzzworthy enough to mention again, maybe just to kind of clarify my own true thoughts, because with some of the videos, just in the comment section, and I try really hard not to get too wrapped up in comments where I'm going back and forth with people. But I thought that this was a nice opportunity just to talk about videos that, like I say, maybe got a little bit more views, got some comments, maybe I felt a little bit misunderstood on. So this was my way of just kind of, talking about it, right? You guys leave comments, what you guys think, and then also me just saying what my true opinion was of it. So I will see you guys later. If you guys are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button, you guys, and like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Me end the stream. See ya.